I know so many great single women. So many great single women. I don't know where all the dudes are. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Make the first move. Just come on. But man,
the first move is become a great single guy.
Like,
that's a big move right there.
I know. But
there is a major difference between loneliness and solitude. All right. Solitude is a choice. You choose to be by yourself. Loneliness, there was no choice, but you find yourself alone. We've done content in the past talking about the male loneliness epidemic, and I describe it as the male solitude epidemic. Men have been clocking out of dating for a long time now because they don't think that the proverbial juice is worth the proverbial squeeze, right? The risk isn't worth the reward anymore. And many of these men rationalize other forms of entertainment in order to take up their time as opposed to meeting some of the delusional standards within a modern woman's inflated checklist and just chooses not to engage. Title of today's video are Women Are in a State of Panic as Men Refuse to Go Out Anymore. Brought to you by Dating Right. We've gone over content in the past of women going to speed dating events and complaining that no men showed up, or women going to girls' night out at a restaurant and it being like all women patrons there, right? No men show up. And there's a lot of different reasons for that, which we're probably going to get in within the content of today's video. Nevertheless, let's get active and let's have some fun. Without further ado,
I know so many great single women. So many great single women. I don't know where all the dudes are. I'm like, guys, come on. Come on, guys. Make the first move. Just come on. But man,
the first move is become a great single guy.
Like,
that's a big move right there.
I know. But
Dave Ramsey, shut the hell up. You know, Dave comes from the boomer generation, right? Where they were just used to just taking the blame for shit and putting women up on pedestals simply from existing. How is it that good women can't find a good man and it's the man's fault? Like, what is this? Let's go.
Well, guys, it looks like cuffing season is fully upon us because it looks like women are in a state of desperation. We are seeing women make urgent pleas, searching for men like we have never seen them before.
Okay, so I have a genuine question. Where in this day and age do you find men? Like good actual men? Tinder, no. Hinge, no. Bumble, that's a joke. Co-workers, no. That is banned. That is a joke as well. Uni, no. Don't be ridiculous. I don't reckon you'd find someone at a bar or clubbing. No. Festival, also no. Also, like, do I have the money to go to a festival every month? No. Like, genuinely, where do you find men? Where do you find your men?
Nowhere. In my dreams.
In your dreams.
Yep.
So where are the men? Where do y'all hang out? If you don't go to coffee shops? I'm so tired of like going to a bar or like go to different events and they're like 90% of the ladies and only 3 men hang out in the corner.
They checking
out. Do you guys
out.
just not leave the house or like go outside?
Well,
yeah, I would love to stop using all the dating apps that are just not working anymore and start meeting people in real life organically. But where do men usually hang out? I feel like I've been looking at the wrong places. So let me know in the comments.
Okay, I'm literally getting ready from a dinner that I just went to because me and my friend and her husband just went out and she was talking to me about something that like low-key made sense to me. She was just saying like, yeah, my husband has tons of attractive and single friends, but they're just not out there. Like they're usually just at home, and even if they do decide to go out, they just go out with their friends and they never have the intentions on meeting other girls. Honestly, like fair, like I understand that. I think this conversation just kind of made me realize that my future soulmate is not just gonna be waiting for me at a random bar.
So I have an actual, like, very serious and legitimate question.
Okay.
And I only want to hear from single men, not anyone married, in a relationship.
I got you, baby.
Talking to someone. Sorry, y'all don't count. I want to hear from the single men, and I'm going to go with, like, ages 38 and up, preferably in their 40s. But I'm going to go with 38, because I'm 42. I'm going to stick with 38. Where are you guys hanging out at?
I would tell you, baby girl, but the fact of the matter is that I don't want you to know. I be enjoying myself. You understand me? I be doing my damn thing. What I look like enjoying myself at the nice event that I'm not going to tell you where it is or where I'm going. And yo ass, who's relatively the same age as me, right? Like, I'm not even checking for you anyway, baby. Leave me alone, please. You got too much age for me. You got too much baggage. And you more than likely have delusional requirements that would piss me off and disturb my peace. I'm good over here, baby girl. I'm self-improving, self-developing, working on my business, working on myself, growing my tribe, grinding. And in return, I will choose youth, peace, and cooperation. Oh, and femininity. And don't you shame me either, all right? My choice doesn't make me weak. It just makes it my choice. I understand how broken the dating marketplace today, and at 40, I still see no rush. Let's go.
Between the ages of 28 and 40 and go on Saturdays. And I don't mean like a specific restaurant or a specific location. I mean, generally speaking. Are they at the gym? Are they at a bar watching football? Are they on a hike? Are they at home doing additional work? Are they at the driving range? Are they getting brunch with their friends? What does a 28 to 40-year-old single man's typical Saturday look like? Because I can tell you what a Saturday for a 28 to 40-year-old single woman looks like. As part of my like fall of outdoors, I'm trying to integrate experiences where I get to meet the male species. Every time that I've tried to do that, the places that I end up tend to be proliferated with 24-year-old men.
Okay, this video is for my single men. Kids, no kids, I don't care. I'm pushing 40 at this point.
Okay.
Where do y'all hang out? Do you guys approach anyone that's not like in a bar or club setting? Like, I would love to know. I have not been on a dating app in almost a year, and that may or may not be my last date. Because my last date was somebody I met on a dating app, and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't have it in me. I'm not doing it. Like, I know there's men out there, alright, good ones, I know, but I have yet to find them, okay? And a lot of them are not on dating apps.
As a single woman, I'm getting a little worried when I scroll on this app that like all of the good single men, 30-year-olds and up, or near that range, they are, if they're single, they're staying inside and doing exactly what I would want to do, which is like binge a show and like order and take out. Like, why when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all these like cute men who look like they have their head on their shoulders. They probably don't. Let's just be fucking real.
There we go.
But they're all like staying inside. Like, what I'm trying to do is text a girlfriend and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of me cuddling into bed and binging all of Real Housewives, let's go out. Because I'm just hoping that one day, like, I meet my husband, like, meet cute randomly. Like, I gotta go out and do that, right? I have to, like, actually put myself out there. I have to actually do my makeup and, like, put on a cute outfit and do that, you know? Crazy concept. But I have a fear that all of the good single 30-year-old men are doing the opposite. Hey, get out there. Please. Yeah. Stop ordering takeout by your fucking self and wait for me to be there with you to do it, okay? Literally, I don't...
Listen, little milk of magnesia, let me talk to you. I'm being slightly facetious when I say like all of the men are done. Obviously, there's still men that are out there. And that's really what is the real crux of this whole video and why this entire conversation and watching all of these women upload all of these videos, they're uploading these videos not because they're actually looking for men. They're uploading them as a performative work of art. The fact is that most of the men, the average man, you heard of those, you guys ignore them. These type of men are literally everywhere, but you just don't see them. You fail to see them. I think this is also why if you ask like any woman on the street, like how many dudes on average are over 6 foot tall, and they say some ridiculously high numbers like 40%. The truth is that it's 40% for them because the ones that are they don't see them as much. Not because of the height, but because they're not interested. So they overestimate how many 6 foot plus tall men exist. Internet media, social media has completely distorted many women's perceptions of who men are, what they are, and as well as their own values as women. They put up performative works like this without asking themselves, you know, what is it that you are doing or you giving to that man in return? A performative TikToker with a low barometer hate for men that likes to put her memory glands out on the internet for more likes and validation? And even if he did want you through all of that, he's still invisible to you.
My whole goal, I knew I wanted my man back, okay? I knew I wanted my man back. I had one mission. He lives across the country. He lives in San Diego. I live in Atlanta. I would have showed my ass up at that man's house in a second, okay? But I couldn't just like do that, you know? So I text him the grandma thing. He doesn't respond. End up texting him something else. I don't think he responds. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you one warning. So I text him and I said, if you do not respond to me, I'm going to show up at your house. And you know that I will. You know that I will. Didn't respond. Nothing. By this time, I know what he's doing, right? He's trying to hold my feet to the fire because I'm the one who broke up with him. So he was trying to like hold my feet to the fire. Make me learn my lesson. Okay? Who are you, the Pope? So what do? I like to put my money where my mouth is. Okay? I booked my ass a flight to San Diego. I say nothing. Roll up Thursday night, pull up in his house. He's not there. I'm sorry, what? We're at this point we've been broken up like 4 months. But I feel like in 4 months I still like know your schedule. I still like know your routine-ish, you know? Where are you on a Thursday night? I'm pissed. Okay? So he lives in a condo. I'm sitting in an apartment and I'm sitting in the first of all, I get there, I get on the elevator, I go up to his door, I start knocking on the door and I start ringing the doorbell. But I can tell.
This is exactly why all y'all need today's sponsor, Aura. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
And I start ringing the doorbell, but I can tell no one's home because there's like no movement whatsoever. Because I'm like, nothing, no movement. So I'm like, okay, he's not home. Okay, let me give him like 30 minutes, go downstairs. I'm sitting in the lobby because he would have to come through where I was going, like where I was sitting. So I would see him, he would see me, you know? So I give him like 30 minutes, not there, 45 minutes, not there. I text him and I'm like, hey, I accidentally delivered something to your house. Are you home?
Now, if a guy was doing this, y'all be all over the internet talking about creep, scary, weirdo. Why is the comment section not like that for her?
Okay. No response for like 20 or 30 minutes. He eventually responds, what? By this time I'm heated because I'm like, where are you? So then I'm texting him, where are you? And he was like, what are you, I haven't talked to you in months. What are you talking about? Like, so then I was like, you know what? Forget it, because by this time, I have convinced myself that he's like at another girl's house. He's with another girl. But bring her here. I'll beat the shit out of her right here, right in front of you. Bring her here, please. So I've like convinced myself of this whole narrative. So I'm like texting him like a psycho. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I knew that you would do this. It's like, I'm like, I don't know what I say. I spaz out. I deleted those two because I don't need to see that, how I was behaving. That's none of my business. And so he finally just calls me and he's like, what is happening? And I was like, I am at your condo and you're not here. And it's like 9:30 at night. What else would you be doing on a Thursday night? And he was like, I was playing soccer. I'm on my way home right now. My phone was like on the sidelines, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh. That makes sense because he plays a lot of soccer. So I was like, okay, well then bet when you pull up, your ass better be in a uniform. You better be sweaty. So he was like, I'm literally about to pull up right now. And so then he pulls up and yeah, he's in a soccer uniform and he's sweaty. And yeah, then we got back together.
What?
bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, baby.
Nah, son.
You just have to show up.
I'm gonna write a book. I might call it something like the Red Flag Bible or something like that, identifying all of the red flags that young men need to be in consideration of when it comes to dealing with some of these crazy ass modern women. Her red flag rating would be off of the Richter scale, right? Might need to create like a whole new section for this level and degree of crazy. The thing is that dudes will look at this thinking that that degree of toxicity means how much that she loves you, when it's all about control at the end of the day. You mess with toxic, you're gonna get toxic ass results. Let us continue.
I don't mess with guys who don't eat kitty kitty meow meow, because one time I went out with this guy who's a promoter and he was like, hey, I want to take you out on a date. And I was like, cool, that's what's up. So I had him meet me at the Jaspers in Largo because I don't like people trying to come to my house because I'm a thief. And so he met me at Jaspers. And when we go to Jaspers, I was like, okay, where do you want to go? And he was like, oh, I want to go to the spot in College Park. So we go to College Park and the spot is really his house. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't mind it because I'm ovulating and I'm feeling like a dog at this point. So we get into his room and, you know, we're chilling, we're touching and everything like that. So I lean back so he can start eating kitty kitty meow meow. And he was like, oh, no, I don't do that unless you're my girl. So I'm instantly turned off and I'm annoyed. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go home. And he's like, oh, all right, like, hold on. And he goes into the next room. And then when I look to my right, I peep that there's a whole bunch of money because he's a little fake promoter. So I decide to take a stack of money that's off the top, put it in my purse, and I just leave his apartment and I start booking it because the apartment, the way it was shaped, the building, the way it was shaped, it was like it was locked unless somebody let you down or whatever. But I took the steps and then somebody let me out. So then I started booking it all the way to a hotel that was like up at the corner. And then I called an Uber from there and I got home. And then he texted me and was like, oh, you arrived for that, for leaving. And then he texted me a little bit later and was like, hey, did you take some money from my house? And I didn't say anything. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna just check the cameras. So then I blocked him, and then he texted me from a text now number, and he was like, you just told on yourself. I don't even have cameras, but that's how I know you did it, and that's why I'm gonna get somebody to come F you up. But I was like, find me, and I knew he wasn't gonna be able to find me. So then 2 weeks later, I go on a new date, and I have the guy meet me at Jasper's, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna go to this cute little quick kickback. We go to the kickback, and then lo and behold, he knows the guy, or they're in the same circle. So the little promoter is there, and so he starts spazzing on me or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like acting like I don't know this guy. I'm like, someone please get this black guy away from me. I'm so scared. You know, I'm trying to pull the whole light skin in distress type situation. And it totally worked because the guy I was with was like, oh, he tripping. So the dude grabs my purse. But lo and behold, that was my favorite rainbow purse. And it had nothing but my rainbow lip gloss and an ID that was expired. And so he's just like, yeah, like he just snatched the purse thinking I would have money in it. But I never carry money when I go on a date because why would I? So I'm just crying and I'm like, let's leave. So I get the guy to leave. And he's like, what was that about? And I was like, that's the guy that's been stalking me. And I'm so upset because I had my money in there. You remember I was supposed to go to the bank. So I'm trying to like low-key gaslight this man and make him remember that I told him I needed to go to the bank before I date, which I did say that, but I had already went to the bank. So he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I need that money for my son. I can't believe he has that. Can you go back and fight on my honor? So the guy was low-key a scary person. So he was like, nah, but he was like, you know what, I'm gonna help you out. So he goes to the ATM and then he comes back with a measly $600 and he was like, this is all I got. So I'm just like, oh man, I guess I'll make it work. You know, I'm gonna figure something out. So I just started bawling, crying. So he felt bad. So I didn't even want him to touch me. So he was like, where can I drop you off at? I was like, hey, take me home. Low key, it wasn't my house. It was another guy's house that I really liked and I was gonna go chill with him.
Wait, hold up. Get back here. You ain't gonna get out of here that easy. Thank goodness for the internet. Now there's a validation engine where women can release stories about what's happening within their life. She titled this, Why I Don't Mess With Guys Who Don't Eat Out, and it should be titled, Why Men Are Choosing Not to Date. While she's out here in the streets risking her life trying to get men to fight other men and stealing money from these men, she stole money from the dude who didn't eat the box, and then she stole money from the dude who she gaslit and lied to. And then after all of that, did that one dirty to go hang out at another. This is absolutely insane. It sounds like she's in Atlanta, and it's exactly one of the reasons I stay far and away from the club.
And nobody really prepared me for how conniving and how malicious girls and women can be.
So he dropped me off at the other guy's house and I go there and I have fun. And then I wake up to like text messages of the guys like, yo, you're a lying ass bitch, all this stuff. And he was like, bro, I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna beat you up, all this stuff. And I was like, catch me if you can, LOL, because they were just going to go to the other guy's house. They weren't even coming to my house. So then I just went back home, and then they kept like texting my phone, and I blocked them both. But then they started texting me from Text Now numbers, and I was just like, leave me alone. I don't know either of you Negroes. And then the other promoter guy started texting me, and I was just like, well, this wouldn't never happen if you eat kitty kitty meow meow. So yeah, that's why I don't like guys who don't eat kitty kitty meow meow, because they're crazy.
So the other night I was at my friend's house, and there was a very, very handsome man there. And I sat down and started talking to him, and he said some things that were shocking. So I'm 35, he's 33, and we stumbled upon the topic of what are the ages of people that you would date. And I'm over here like, the youngest I would date currently is 30. And to me, that's pushing it. Like, that's still a little too young at my ripe years of 35 years old. And this man says to me that he would date a woman who is 20 years old. He's 33. And then he goes on to say that he said that he wants them younger so that he can mold her into the woman and girlfriend that he wants her to be. And my initial reaction is, ew, okay, that's very grooming of you. And then he continues to say that the less relationship experience that she has, the better, so that she's not bringing drama and expectations from previous relationships into this relationship. And he doesn't see that there's anything wrong with this. Dude, you're literally talking about grooming 20-year-olds as a 33-year-old man. This is disgusting behavior. This is disgusting.
This is effectively the Mazda Miata trying to tell you not to buy the AMG. And you don't even need to put it on credit. You got cash, baby. Relationship baggage is a real thing. Who we experience within our past is going to sometimes curtail or determine, rather, what our expectations are in the future. If you've had a woman in the past that was a fantastic cook, you more than likely for future relationships will want women who are fantastic cooks. Now, if she makes it to 35 years old and she ain't about that cook life, as opposed to being in her 20s, and you can demonstrate the importance of this skill in the family lifestyle that you're trying to build, then she is more in a mind state to be like, okay, I can understand the benefits of that, as opposed to saying, no, I'm my own independent woman. I'm going to do whatever it is that I want to do. You liken it to grooming is absolutely hilarious. Grooming denotes that that person is unable to choose for themselves, right? Maybe they're an adolescent. That's not the man's point. However, what you're doing is you're trying to shame him out of his logic or his options in order to prop yourself up as a viable option. Anyway, let me get off this content. Shout out to Dating Right. I'm gonna leave a link to this video down in the description box down below. He does fantastic compilations, so I always like to big up those in the men-centric community. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and he definitely is. Share your questions, comments, concerns down up in the comment box down below. I know we started the conversation about men leaving the dating marketplace and kind of ended up at these crazy ass stories. Nevertheless, share your comments down below. Make sure you include a timestamp. And last but not least, shout out to today's sponsor, Aura. Listening to that crazy ass story in the middle of this continues to remind me the importance of removing my private information off of these public sites. Aura is the company that I trust to do that. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
You is ratchet as they come. Rainbow weaves and batwing lashes, weighing more than a man. What time is your football practice? I bet you can hit that A gift like a mug. How you big back it? Said a man must buy you gifts. Where here goes a Fitbit tracker. Are you mad? Cause you got 3 kids by 4 different dads. You pick cookies, then you bash. Oh man, when you get sad.